Hey y'all, it is Chris with Rockin Farm, and tonight, Thursday, August 20th, 2020. The night you're watching this video, if you're watching the premiere of this video, is the premiere of the 2020 Greensteading Summit. If you watched my video last week, you know how excited I am about this. Tonight, Jim and Jessica are kicking it off with a little introductory video. And then throughout the day, for the next several days, all the way through the 27th, you're going to be seeing videos from a variety of permaculturists. Again, if you want more details on it, either go back and watch last week's video or go over to greendreamproject.org, click on the events tab, and then you get all the information you need to get about this Greensteading Summit. So really super excited about it. I'm going to put a link to their YouTube channel, which is where all this is taking place, down in the comment section below. I am also going to put a link in the description below to the calendar of events. And if you scroll through there, you'll see that Rockin Farm is going to be on Saturday morning. That's August 22nd, 2020. Please stop by and watch my video. I mean, I really want you all to watch all the videos, but please stop by and watch my video. If you're a follower of mine, like it, share it, encourage others to watch it. Y'all, this could possibly be the opportunity for my channel to really grow. I mean, I'm surrounded by unbelievably talented people in this little collaborative effort. So the possibility's there. We've had a goal. We've been pushing hard. This could be the catalyst that kind of helps to grow the channel, but it's not going to happen without y'all's help. So again, check out the links below. Check out the Greensteading Summit. Go watch my video. Again, y'all, go check out our new t-shirts. I've got some really cool permaculture specific t-shirts coming out in our Teespring store. Link for that down in the description. So I'm shooting the intro to this video. I've already shot the majority of the video. What we're going to be talking about today, besides how excited I am about the Greensteading Summit, is building a farm on a budget. So let's jump into that. Today, we're actually going to have a little bit of a conversation. I'm going to be showing you some things around the farm today, but the purpose of me showing you these things around the farm is for the purpose of this conversation. Now, I promise I am not trying to get all clickbaity when I title this thing Building a Farm on a Budget. That is what we're going to talk about today. But we're also going to talk about how sometimes the budget doesn't allow for things to be built on the farm. So again, don't feel deceived if this video wasn't what you thought the title was. I honestly feel that's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about building a farm on a budget. Because anybody who has ever tried to budget for anything in their lives has discovered that at some point, life gets in the way. So we're talking about building a farm on a budget today. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how life has gotten in the way for us. So anybody who follows this channel regularly, y'all know that Jess and I both work full-time jobs. We both work our tail ends off, although I will admit she works far harder than I do. Her job is far more stressful than mine is. Mine is stressful, hers is uber stressful. Mine requires a lot of my time. Hers requires more hours than are typically in a day. So my wife definitely, when it comes to working in the workplace, outworks me tenfold. And then she helps me with all the family stuff too, the getting the kids here and the getting the kids there and the grocery shopping and the meal planning. And, you know, so I mean, my wife is what keeps things running. Let's just put it that way. So there's a bunch of stuff that we have going on the farm. Projects that are about half finished in some cases even more than half finished. And these projects are right now all on hold. We don't have a lot of time, but that's not the reason that they're on hold. We've got, money coming in, so that's not the reason they're on hold. But the money that we have coming in isn't able to go to those projects right now. So that's why they're on hold. And when I say on hold, I mean dead stop, y'all. Let me show you a couple. So as many of you know, one of the goals that my wife and I have for our farm is to get livestock on the farm. And the main purpose for the livestock is to create another cash flow that would further help build the farm. Because again, let me remind you, we consider our farm a retirement project, and that's what we have to do for our own mental health, for our own sanity, is we just have to look at it as this is our retirement goal. We sure hope that we reach it a lot sooner, but considering the fact that I'm planting fruit trees out there, and from the moment I put that fruit tree in the ground, it's going to be 5 years before it's fully productive. If it takes me the next 6 years to get all of the trees in the ground that I want in the ground, and that's a pretty intense goal, doing this in 6 years, then we're looking at 11 years before all of my fruit orchard is fully productive. So obviously it's going to happen in stages. Like, there will be enough trees producing produce that I can sell, that I can buy new trees. And, you know, so eventually I think the farm will start paying for its own growth. But in order for the farm to get to a place where it is paying our incomes and we no longer have to work an outside job, right now we're realistically looking at it as a retirement goal, and hoping that it occurs a lot sooner as people move more towards self-reliance. And I honestly do think a little bit of that's going to happen, because as I was starting to say about the livestock, that's our self-reliance. We want to get our own meat on the farm and then hopefully have enough meat to sell. But the main reason for having livestock on the farm is so that we lessen our dependence on the grocery store. I think that the latest worldwide pandemic has shown people you can't necessarily count on the grocery stores, and we don't want to count on the grocery store anymore either. So we want to become more self-reliant and then hopefully have enough excess to make a little bit of money in order for our food to basically be free, if that makes sense. In order to get that meat self-reliance in a good place, we need to get the barn repaired. We've been working on the barn, and you can go back and look at some other videos of me doing some work on the barn, but now that barn is at a complete standstill. I'll tell you why in a little bit, but first let me show you. So the barn needs a lot of leveling up, and we decided that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to put in a whole bunch of 4x4 posts, and then I'm going to run new 4x4 posts so that I can take the weight off of all of this old material that is really starting to rot and crumble. And then hopefully I can reuse a bunch of that material in other places, but I just really need to shore up this little lean-to, and I'm going to do that with a whole bunch of new posts. You can see I've got all my holes dug. And the reason I have all my holes dug is because I was fixing to go buy all of the posts that I needed to buy in order to start repairing this. And then we had a daughter who had an accident and broke her leg. And now we have a whole bunch of medical bills. And I don't say this so that she feels bad. It's not like she threw herself down the stairs or something intentionally, but you know, we've got kids, and part of having kids is kids getting hurt, and part of kids getting hurt is very steep medical bills. And now that we have to pay very steep medical bills, the barn has to wait. And if the barn has to wait, livestock has to wait. We've also been talking about a garden expansion. Now, out here in the garden, I have plans to blow this garden out from this post all the way out to about, here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new home for the tire swing, which is kind of sad, but what that's going to allow is it's going to allow us to add one more box where the trailer is, one more box in between the trailer and the fence, one more box about where the fence is, one more box behind that, and then a box row that runs along the inside of the new fence. So what I can do for now, I've got fencing material, I've got posts like this, and then I've got this type of irrigation tubing. So I can go ahead and blow the fence out and get it ready for garden expansion. But y'all, irrigation parts cost money, and the materials for these boxes cost money. So that's another one of those projects that unfortunately, until I can get my hands on some cash, get some debt paid off, get some medical bills paid off, etc., it's just going to have to wait. So we're at a place now where we're looking for inexpensive scrap lumber, like somebody who tore down a fence or something like that. I'm not having a whole lot of luck with it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. So that means that, you know, I can buy inexpensive lumber at the hardware store, but it still has a cost. So I will probably start working on expanding the fences just so I'm not sitting idle, but we're not going to be building any new boxes, not anytime soon. Again, I'll explain why, because a kid breaking their leg isn't the only thing that happens in life. The pasture. More on the food reliance. You might notice this relatively decent sized pasture out here. It's a couple acres at least. But there's absolutely nothing separating this pasture from, oh, my vineyard, my orchard, etc. This fence was old. This fence was dilapidated. We had to take down this entire fence line. And now, as much as I would love to put 2 head of cattle out here and allow them to graze to a slaughtering weight, and then give the land a full year to recover, and then do 2 more cattle, grow them out to a slaughtering weight, allow the land to have a year to recover. As much as I would like to start that cycle, it ain't happening without a fence. And y'all, the fencing materials I'm looking at, roughly $1,000. So again, I can come in and I can dig post holes and I can put in my big heavy posts, but the T-posts in between and the actual fencing material, it's gonna have to wait. So that means no livestock on that pasture. There's just a lot of little things going on that require money or require the time to barter for materials, which I'm totally open to doing. But life has gotten in the way because we were making steady progress on a lot of these projects. And then my daughter breaking her leg was just kind of the start of it. It was the start of life getting in the way of a dream. That same daughter that broke her leg, we just took her to college. Anybody who has kids in college knows that college comes with big expenses. Getting her all moved into her dorm, getting all the little initial fees paid and all that kind of stuff. You know, we bought some supplies to do some work on the farm in June. In July, she got hurt. In August, she moved into college. In September, we will still be recovering from those 2 events. In October, if COVID allows, there is a family member that's having a very important day in their lives that we would like to be a part of. That's going to require some travel, and that travel is going to cost money. So nothing's going to happen on this farm in October. In November, between the broken leg medical debt, the college kid, and the trip, we're still going to be recovering at that point. And then December, we've got Christmas. So right now, y'all, I'm looking at January before I can purchase any more materials for my farm. I'm going to keep my eyes open for free stuff. I'm going to keep looking around for people that are willing to trade a little bit of work for some materials. I'm going to do what I can to get my hands on stuff. But y'all, running a farm or building a farm does require some money, and life has a habit of getting in the way of your dreams. I don't say all this to be discouraging, because I've always been the person that says just get out there and do it. Just get started. But I also want people to be realistic enough to know that when you hit a bump in the road, you can't just quit. I'm tired. My wife is exhausted. But we both are smart enough to know that if you're not moving forward, you're being left behind. It's essentially the same thing as going backwards. So we know that we need to keep moving forward. We're moving forward a lot slower right now. And that's because we have a dream, but we also have a life. And I wouldn't trade my life for the world. I've got an amazing wife. I've got great kids. They're growing up to be great people. We've got 5 out of the house now, 3 to go. So y'all, if my wife and I, who, transparent moment here, spent a good chunk of our lives receiving government assistance, can work hard enough to get ourselves to a place where we're building for a future. And we did that with 8 children in tow. Y'all can do it too. So you want to know how to build a farm on a budget? Keep your eyes open for opportunities. Work really, really hard. Don't give up, and understand life isn't going to stop for you. And sometimes it's going to pass you by, but you just need to keep working. I'm going to end this video the same way I end every video, y'all. My name is Chris. This is Rockin' Farm. And until I see everyone again, I want you to make sure that you be happy and live healthy.